All right, let's move on to the next topic. Y'all got me on a whole thing with this. All right, what else we got? A little bit more with the director, Matt Reeves. So he's also been making news. Again, I'm not going to talk about any of the spoilers or whatever, but there were some other talks about different things that the director would do, what he wouldn't do. So Matt Reeves, he was recently interviewed, and he said that he will never make a Marvel movie. Interesting. So here's what he said about that. He said, I have such respect for Kevin Feige and also for the Marvel filmmakers. But to be honest with you, I just don't know how I would make my way through that. There has to be some level of discovery for me where I have some freedom to find my way. If I have to come into something that's already set too firmly, then I think I would get lost. And I don't think they would be happy with me either. All right. All right. So here's the thing. I actually I hear where he's coming from, right? I hear what he's coming from because he's under the impression, and maybe he knows more than I do. I'm just going off of what I've heard other directors say, right? I've heard other directors say, Peyton Reed, Chloe Zhao, with the Eternals. Peyton Reed did Ant-Man. I've heard other directors be like, yo, Marvel lets us do whatever we want, you know. So for me, now don't get me wrong, obviously Marvel has a blueprint, they have some sort of direction, they have some sort of path, and it's not to say that there won't be creative differences, because even Scott Derrickson, who was supposed to direct Doctor Strange 2, he wanted to make the movie really scary, and he wanted to put Nightmare as the villain. But Kevin Feige, Marvel, they was like, nah, we don't want to do that. They had a creative difference, and he left, and they brought in Sam Raimi. Now, I also think about the Eternals with Chloe Zhao. The Eternals is such a bottom of the barrel cast of characters. These are characters, and I don't care. I'll say this over and over again. These are characters that even diehard comic book fans are not checking for. Nobody's out there saying we need an Eternals movie. No one was really pushing for that. They're like C to D level characters, And the beauty with that is, because we see Marvel is not afraid to reach into the bottom of the barrel. Because of that, they are willing to let them have free reign. You can do whatever you want with these characters because don't nobody care about them anyway. Don't nobody have any expectations with them. Now, if somebody said like, yo, Matt Reeves, we need you to come in and do the X-Men or whatever, that's probably going to have stricter reins. That's probably going to be like, wait a minute, we know what we want to do with the Mutants movie. You can't come in here and just do whatever you want to do. But if it was something else a little bit more wide, a little bit more obscure, I'm pretty sure they would allow him to do whatever they want to do, because that's usually what they want. I've heard directors say when they go into pitch meetings with Marvel that when they say like, yo, I want to do this with Loki. Like, I was talking to the director for Loki, and she was like, yeah, I wanted to do this. And Marvel was like, go weirder. Go do more. They were encouraging her to do more than what she was saying. So, this idea that like he's going to be handcuffed to pigeonholed, I think it depends on the actual content, on the character that he approaches. But like I think that he could do a Marvel movie. I don't like the idea of him never doing one. But the way that he tells stories, I like what he's doing, right? Like he's telling stories that focuses on character development. And I would say, if I had to say a perfect movie for Matt Reeves to direct potentially, that I think Marvel would actually go ahead and give him free reins to do, give him Wolverine. Let him do Wolverine. because with Wolverine, there's so much room for character development. There's so much rich material in developing his character. If you need to know what I'm talking about, go look at The Wolverine. And of course, go look at Logan. Logan was all about that character development. And Wolverine has lifetimes, right? Like he's been living a long time where you could tell multiple different stories. So I think I would not be mad if maybe he doesn't do like an X-Men movie because they might, be a little too restricted with that. But if they wanted to do more Logan movies, he could do that. If you could do that with the Batman, if you could do that with a monkey, you could do it with Wolverine, and there's plenty of material there. So I kind of disagree with his assertion here, that he just wouldn't want to do a Marvel movie. But I would just say never. But anyway, and here's the other thing. What else did he say? He also had another interview where he talks about the one rule that Warner Brothers had for his movie. So Warner Brothers had one thing that they were like, you could do whatever you want, but you got to do this. Here's what they had to say. He said one thing they did do, which was my intention from the beginning, was they said, look, it's important to us that the movie be PG-13. We want to make sure that we can get this. It's a Batman movie, and we're investing so much in it. And I was like, well, in the Apes movie, I tried to sort of find that balance as well. They were meant to be sort of, they were obviously spectacle and grand entertainment, but there was a level of intensity. I felt like in the same way, I knew that we could push the boundaries of what we could do in a PG-13 movie and still deliver everything I wanted to do. That sounds exactly like what Kevin Feige is talking about. It sounds exactly like that. Kevin Feige's, you want to do a PG-13 movie? Kevin Feige's like, yes, sir, please, can I have another? Like, this is it. So all I'm saying is like, I don't know what he's heard. Again, maybe he has inside information that I don't know, but based off of everything I've heard, at least in interviews and published online, it doesn't sound like Marvel is, such a terrible fit with him. But then again, I don't know if Marvel needs him either. You know. Anyway, what do you think about Matt Reeves never being in directing a Marvel movie? Maybe he could direct one. If he did, which one would you like him to direct? I could see Matt Reeves direct the Punisher. He could totally do the Punisher. The only reason I would say the only reason yeah, brother, I got you, I know. The only reason I think that I don't think the Punisher would be ideal for him is that I don't know how much room there is for the character development. Like Batman, for example, can go from one, how can I put it? He can go from his certain emo state to a different higher level and develop as a character. I don't, the Punisher stays mad. That's all. He's mad a lot. I don't know if he's really going to develop. He keeps killing people. So and I know Matt Reeves likes to deal more so with character development. He likes to see those characters grow over the course of multiple movies. So would the Punisher movie work? Could he do it? Yes. I just don't know if it would be something he would want to do. That's why I just said he might want to do Wolverine or something, because there's a lot of meat on the bones for him to develop that character and to work with all these different emotions. I don't know if the Punisher can get all of that. So thank you so much for watching. This was just a segment of one of my live chats, and if you're interested in joining in on the next one, be sure to subscribe and turn on your notifications for more. I've got more videos and reviews to do for you all, and until next time, I'll see you all later.